A man who came into the local spotlight a few weeks ago with a controversial traffic stop is now making headlines on the other side of the country. Good evening, everyone. This man's name, Peter Santilli Jr., and you may remember him from a traffic stop last month in Newtown.
That stop briefly put authorities on high alert when it was thought that Santilli was on a terrorist watch list. While that was quickly said to be incorrect, Santilli is now putting himself in the middle of a militia takeover of a federal wildlife refuge in Oregon. Rich Jaffe joins us now with a story you'll see only here on Local 12. Rich?
Rob, Pete Santilli is an extreme right-wing journalist of sorts who was right in the media middle of Ammon Bundy's occupation of the National Wildlife Preserve in Burns, Oregon. Santilli's actions bring up even more questions about what really went on immediately after that Newtown traffic stop.
I've got a special announcement to make.
Over the last few days, Peter Santilli has been frequently seen immersed in the militia-style takeover of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge. On his Pete Santilli show, which airs on the YouTube channel, Santilli is seen wearing a jacket that says Press, Pete Santilli. Fox has even used him as a spokesperson for the anti-government group in charge of the Oregon occupation.
There was intel that the camp here was going to be raided.
A few weeks ago, Santilli and a woman passenger in his car were briefly held at gunpoint during a traffic stop in Newtown by Police Chief Tom Sinan. Initially pulled over for impeding the flow of traffic, according to the police report, a loaded 9mm handgun with additional magazines was found on the floor of the passenger side of the car in an unzipped bag. During identification, Santilli showed up on a terror watch list, something that was subsequently called a mistake. While Santilli was arrested, the charge of improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle was officially ignored, and he was released, showing up a few weeks later in Oregon. Following the arrest, Newtown Police Chief Sinan received a number of rather threatening emails, apparently from Santilli supporters, including this one obtained through a public records request, which says in part, "I think that it's time for citizens to draw their weapon first when approached by a cop." In response to the threats, Sinan had no comment. Santilli is best known for his conspiracy theories regarding the 9/11 attacks and expressing a desire to shoot Hillary Clinton. When in Cincinnati, he lives in this tiny apartment building in Mount Washington. But a search of his background contains everything from claims of being a former Marine to real estate investor and radio talk show host. Whatever his past, his present clearly has him in the middle of a national conflict between anti-government ranchers and the federal government. When I submitted the public records request to Newtown Police, I also asked Chief Sinan if he had any idea why the criminal charge against Santilli was dropped in regards to the handgun. He again answered with a no comment. That said or not said, the situation in Oregon is certainly drawing an interesting crowd. Another man who's reportedly taken up residence there is this guy, John Ritzheimer. He has a well-known history as an extreme anti-Muslim protester who has also gained considerable attention from the FBI. In the newsroom, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News. Rob?
Rich, what does Santilli do for a living? Do you know?
Well, he has this YouTube channel newscast. Whether he makes any money on that or not remains to be seen. He was involved in real estate in California before he came to Cincinnati, but as far as a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job like the rest of us, you got me.
All right, Rich, thanks very much. This afternoon on Twitter, Ammon Bundy, the leader of the occupation force, told his followers, "Don't point guns at us and we won't point guns back. This can still end peacefully," he said.